Dear ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on the time zone you are living in. I hope that all of you are doing well. I am Dominik Blattner, the ITTF High Performance Manager, and I am very delighted to warmly welcome all of you to the webinar with the topic Jan-Ove Waldner, the Mozart of table tennis. And it will be webinar number 50, which is for us kind of an anniversary. And due to this special occasion, and of course also the upcoming Olympic Games, which we are very much looking forward to, we thought of having a special guest. And that's why we came up with Jan-Ove Waldner. But before going over to the introduction of our guest, I want to talk briefly about our webinar code of the Q&A. To all the attendees, please leave your questions in the Q&A section. Jan-Ove will try to answer as many as possible in the question and answer part of the webinar. And now it's time for the guest introduction. It's a great pleasure and honor for us to warmly welcome one of the, for sure, greatest sportsmen in our beloved table tennis, our well-known Jan-Ove Waldner from Sweden, the Olympic champion in men's singles in Barcelona in Spain in 1992, the multiple world champion in the men's singles and team, the World Cup winner in the men's singles and team in Japan 1990, the multiple European champion in the men's singles, doubles and team, multiple winner of the Europe Top 12, and last but not least, also multiple winner of Pro Tour events. So thank you very much, Jan-Ove, for taking the time. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you also, guys.
Thank you very much. And also a warm welcome to our experienced ITTF High Performance coach, Massimo Costantini. So pass over to you, Max, and I kindly ask you to start the conversation with Jan-Ove.
Thank you, Dominic. Guys, today we have a fantastic guest for the 50th webinar. Jan-Ove Waldner, no need presentation, because if we start to list all the achievement, then we took days, to complete all the achievement that Jan-Ove made. So sorry, first of all, for starting a little bit late. And but now we have Valdi here with us. Thank you very much, Valdi, and welcome.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be with you, Massimo. Hope we can have some nice time together.
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Not so much table tennis at the moment, but more golf. This is my
more golf.
Now.
Yes,
but only for fun.
Valdi, I have prepared so many questions for you, and also the audience will have for sure questions for you. It's a great opportunity for all of us. So you said not much table tennis. So, but anyway, when you played last time?
Oh, now sometimes it takes with the epidemic now with the COVID-19, it was not so much table tennis. Normally, I do a lot for Swedish companies, some exhibition matches, and a lot in China. But now I was not also there for 2 months. But I I played some balls with my old club Sportvägen, where Appelgren is trainer. So he wants me to come down with the players, to play some balls. But it was problem in the last 2 years, to play and travel.
Yes, we all know that we are struggling to get back in action, and actually we hope to see you somewhere any soon. Olympic Games, Valdi. Okay, you are the best. Can tell us what are the feeling? What do you think this special edition will represent from your point of view? What is your thinking starting now this special Olympics? I would say.
Yeah. I'm also listening what's happening in the television, with the Olympic Games. It's always some new things, if they should do it, or not, and with the COVID test, and everything. But I think it's very important that they will have the Olympic Games, and, they already started today. I saw. So it's good, I think, for the sport that they can do it. And I hope it will be fair and everything will be okay, that all the best players will not have some problems, so that it can be the best Olympic Games what they can do now. And I know from my experience, Tokyo, is one of the best places to be in the world. So I think they will do a fantastic job there, and everything will be okay for table tennis and for all other sports.
That's great. Yes, we do hope the same. Olympic Games, as I said, we have. I have prepared 3 topics. Let's say Olympic Games, table tennis, and skills,
Sure.
and around. Sweden is performing quite well. You know very well your all compatriots. What do you expect from them from these Olympics?
Yeah, I think what I've seen now in the end, I think they play really good, and also we have some young one who's coming up now, Anton, and also we have Matthias there. So I think single they need a good draw, then everything can happen, But I think in the team they have a good chance. They are like from 3 to 7 in the team. So if they play good together and they like to play team, then I think we have a chance for medal. But the game how it is. You need luck. We have some
Correct.
Chinese players in our sport, and it's not so easy to beat them. I remember also this, So, I hope also for like Timo Boll and this guy also can take a chance to get the medal. He was a top player also, for so long time.
Medals. You are
Yeah.
one of the most expert in Olympic medals. So okay, Barcelona was unbelievable, unforgettable. The gold got in single. Just share with us that feeling. I mean, when I'm talking about this, I'm start shivering. What is the feeling of making the last point? I don't know, something like that.
But I think everything started already in 1988 when we had a chance to play in Olympic Games. And this time I remember it was difficult, for us, you remember also to be at the top in the summer to play our best table tennis. So I was really, I lost in the quarterfinal for first Olympic Games, and then I knew I had to change my system with the practice and to be in the top shape. I didn't know how big Olympic Games are also. So it was a surprise for me because in World Championships, you're together with the Swedish team. In Olympic Games, you're together with the Swedish group, from all sports.
From everything.
And it's difficult sometimes to concentrate on your own games because you have so many superstars in Olympic Games. So it's only nice to see them sometimes, But the focus was very, very high for me because I saw how big it was 88. I think my shape was best ever physical in 92.
But you were the superstar among the Olympics teams, the all sports. Also, the king, the king came to you to congratulate you.
Yeah, of course, in the Swedish team like this. But I think everyone knows also that tracking fields and these are one of the biggest maybe in the Olympic Games. But for our sport, I think it was very, very important that we can play in Olympic Games. I think this was Samaranch and Ogemura who fixed this for us. So this was really, really important. If we could not come in, I didn't have my medals. So I have to say thank you to them also. And it's great for our sport also to be with.
Before we were talking about the Swedish team, and the head coach currently is your super friend Jürgen Persson. What kind of advice would you give to Jürgen to lead the team to the success?
I think he knows the best because he's the coach now. He played also 7 Olympic Games. I play only 5, But I think he's feeling now you have the last chance to take a medal, with the team at least, or with one player. So I think he knows. I think it's good for the players because he knows how you have to prepare for Olympic Games. So you can also see from the results with Jürgen now, they are playing really, really good. So he's a very good coach and very good that you have a so good player as a coach also. I think this is important for the younger one.
And what kind of advice would you give for those competing in this Olympic Games? What kind of to enjoy, to try their best,
Yes.
to what they should do actually?
I think what I did was like I concentrate very hard on my matches, and I didn't run around too much, to watch other sports, because then you lose your concentration. Okay, if you have time, I watch also sometimes, 100-meter in Olympic Game 88 and like this, and also some other Swedish guys. It's always nice to see them play also. But you have always to put your thing first, and then also if you practice good and you are ready, you can play quite relaxed in Olympic Games also, because you know that you did your best. So this is the most important, to play like normal tournament.
Yeah,
Don't think so much about it.
Focus
It's
on
all
own competition. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we are at the end of this first part regarding the Olympics. We need some names, if you can. One male, one female, one team and one team, and if you want also mixed double. So all the all the medals.
I'm not so 100%, but I think China will win the most. But with the names, I don't want to say so much, because I'm not so sure now. I'm followed, but I cannot say exactly who is in the best shape now. Before I know always,
So
but
China,
now in the last 2 years I lost a little bit to watch the games, So, but for sure China will win probably all medals, in the girls and men's. But
so China is the favorite. China is the favorite. Let's say.
Malone for me is, if he playing now, he's in now. Malone.
Uh-huh. And what do you think this in Japan? Of course, there is no audience, no spectators, so this is a part that can play important role, especially for local players like Tomokazu, Harimoto, and other from the female area, Nimaito, and so on. So this will play important aspect for the performance, or do you think once you are focused, super focused, your performance will not get affected?
I think when you're in the match, and it doesn't matter. I can be even more nervous, in the practice match against Appelgren or Persson than in a big match, So when you're in the match, you're in the match. And also, I think they are used to play without the last time now, the last year or something. So I think I think they are used to it, and everyone knows when you're coming into the stadium, everything is so good prepared. Olympic Games was always fantastic to play. You have so much space, not so many players, good for practice, everything, and now they have only 2 players in each team, so it's better chances for the European player to take a medal, I think.
Well, the paradox is this, the Olympics is the most important, but actually level-wise is lower than the World Championships, because you have just 2 players, while in the World Championships you have actually 5 players in the two. So, but okay.
But do you remember? Yeah, I had one thing. Do you remember 1989 when I won the single in Dortmund? Jürgen was beating 3 Chinese players and lost in the final. It's quite tough, And he won all matches in the team. So, and he was but he lost in the final. It's quite tough.
Yeah, and, but then 2 years later, 2 years later, he took the revenge.
He won. But I think also, if you ask the people in Sweden, they recognize me more for Olympic Games than for World Championships. Even when I won all matches, without losing one set. Still, Olympics is much bigger. Everyone knows about the Olympics. Some knows about
Olympics
because it's bigger, but it's more difficult to win. For me, it's always on the top to win Olympic Games. Everyone remember this.
So I still insist in some names. So now we move to table tennis a little bit. I still insisting in some names. I need the 4 names, as you wish,
Okay.
from the 80s, from the 90s, from the new millennium, and from the past decade. 4 names.
Okay.
Now you cannot escape.
Okay. What you mean? Who was the best or in the top, or what? Or which one I like to play against?
Your call.
Okay. For me, if you take this time, I think Malong is one of the greatest ever who played the game. He can play everything. So for him, with the bigger ball, he's the king, I think, for sure.
Okay, interesting.
And then for the 90s, it's so many names, you know. It's so many Chinese names, and we have also Apag and Persson, you know, and it's very difficult to say.
But you can nominate yourself. It's not wrong.
The guy I like to play against when I play with the Chinese was always Liu Guoliang and Kong Linghui.
Okay.
We have fantastic matches, and they also within this group have won everything, you know. So Guoliang is also a good friend for me, and like this also. So, and my favorite player all the time is Tibor Klampa.
Okay, that's also I remember very well. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable player. Yes.
The best one to watch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes, your favorite. We understood. Against whom was it the hardest for you to play? The hardest, the most difficult. What was? Who was?
I think it's Liu Guoliang. I
Liu
lost
Guoliang.
the first 5 matches. Yeah, I lost the first 5, but in the end, suddenly it changed. 2000, I beat him in the team. He had 26 in last set, and then I beat him, and the last 4 times I won. So I'm still down against him, 5-4, I think. And also sometimes Malin was also tough. But Liu Guoliang was even tougher because I had so many problems with his service, you know. I could not receive. And had bad tactic against him also. I didn't play so smart sometimes against him.
But I also remember some matches of you would remember even better, the Korean Kim Ki-taek. You know, Kim Ki-taek. Yeah.
He's really top 3.
He was so fast over the table. No time to think, actually.
And he was also mentally very strong, Kim Ki-taek.
Yeah.
And I lost Olympic Games. I lost in World Cup with him also. So he's for sure top 3. Most difficult one to play against for me.
Okay, top 3.
You are number 4.
Forget. Yeah, as I remember some
nice matches, you know. Nice matches.
I remember some matches with you. I remember very well.
You take it next time.
Yes. So, what do you think is the major change in modern table tennis? You before you were mentioning the big ball we call like that. Yeah. So, what do you think is the major change? You've seen everything from from the day 1 till today.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think some is good, some is less good. I think to 11, I think it was working very well. If you should go back to have matches to 21 now, I think it's going to be really boring, you know, to see 16-5, 15-8, you know, this score, you know. And now it's always interesting, all matches, you know. Even if it's 7-2, it can change. You can lose this set.
Still open,
but sometimes
with
21, it was already clear. You know, then you have to nearly give away the set, you know, when you was down a lot. You save your service and this, but to 11, I'm still nervous, you know, if it's 9-1 and you lose 2-3 balls. So I think this was really good change. I think with the bigger ball, I think it's lost a little bit of the feeling with table tennis. Now it's only power table tennis. Everyone is playing the same table tennis now. They are very strong. They're a little bit more like tennis players now. Big muscle, everyone, power table tennis. So if you watch table tennis now, I think they have many play exactly the same game. We had more different styles with the smaller ball before. We had Gattia, we had other, defensive player, we have Seb, we have so many different styles.
Yeah. Regarding this, I have one more question related to the entertainment time while playing table tennis. Because some said that the rally are too short. You don't actually get in the, not like other sports like tennis. Or badminton, the rally is extremely long. So what do you think could be a good change if this is an issue, I would say? Or is it fine like that? Because some other, they said, no, table tennis is perfect like that. So we love it. Don't change anything. So if you have to change something, what would you do?
I still think when you have a really good rally in table tennis, it's the best sport ever to see big rallies, topspin and everything is in, long rallies. And you can do so much more in table tennis than in tennis and badminton. It's so many different spins, and probably this is the most difficult thing with table tennis. It's so much spin, in all shots, If you have not played table tennis, it's very difficult to understand. Sometimes with the service, sometimes I miss 2-3 service direct, when someone is serving. And I think we need to have, like in tennis, you have to see how much spin it is in the service, how the speed and everything. We need more from these things, I think, in table tennis, so everyone can see how much spin it's in the ball. When one make a serve, you see it's 89% spin, and speed is this. So we have to do more things like they do in tennis, I think. That everyone can understand, because if you ask how fast you hit the ball, I don't even remember this. In tennis you can see everything on the screen.
Okay, so you mean more data, so the people can get more ideas about what's going on, So So just starting from example in the tennis with the speed of the serve, you see, 100 miles.
All these things is very, very, very important. In United States also, they're very good in this in many sports. You can see everything on this. He had problem with certain back and forth. You have all these details. I think this is very, very important, because then the audience can understand table tennis more. And the only thing when they understand, it's when I make some service against them, Norway people, if there's some exhibition, then they understand how much spin it's in the ball.
Yeah.
And then when they have to play with our racket, then they know how to put this sport.
Even harder.
Out spin or the normal hobby racket, then they can receive some service maybe. But I think from the sport, you have to do much better in table tennis.
I see.
Why I'm missing all this from my backhand side? How many points they win in the middle? When it's short to short, who's winning? Then it's more interesting to watch also.
Yeah. So more the facts and the more entertainment facts around the performance of the strokes and the players as well. So that's great. That's great. Thank you.
Also, I want to say, if you watch table tennis in television, it looks fantastic, with the red carpet, everything. It's even look better than tennis, and of course, badminton also. It's so fantastic how good you see the ball now. It's perfect, I think.
Yeah.
So in many ways, we are in the top, also.
I agree. We move to the skills of the table tennis. Table tennis is the prince of the skill game, let's say. So, from your side, from your point of view, what was your best skill when you played at that highest level? What was your best serve?
For sure, it's my service. I won a lot of easy points, direct on my serve, and also on my attack after the serve, and also read the game. I think I was one of the best to read the game. And with the tactics, also, I think I was in the top. I could change my tactic if I see someone play good, So I think split vision also was my best side. And then
Okay.
I have some not so good sides also, but I can't. With my forehand flip was maybe not the best. My backhand sometimes was not the best. But split vision, I think, and to read the game.
Valdi, this one just when you were talking about read the game. Do you think reading the game is a trainable skill or is just a gift?
It's a little bit gift because I have the same if I play tennis or other sport. I'm also always standing where the ball is coming, you know. But also, I think it was from the beginning when my brother and I was very, very young. We play soccer, we play tennis. I play all sport with the ball, and I was living with the ball in my room, you know, under the pillow also, you know. So I was not interested in cars, and you know, and we play with the ball all the time. We played all sports, and then you understand the spin, the speed, and then everything in the all sports.
So it's
And
a
also with my
pure
brother,
skill.
yeah.
It's a pure skill with the ball, basically, either small, medium, or large.
But if you're playing with the balls, you know, these small balls, big balls, and everything, then you learn also to get the split vision. And also, I think what we did in Sweden also, we watch a lot of video from different players. I think this also, then you understand what you, also with my service, okay, I have one of the best service, but I was watching Li Liang, all the greatest player with the service also. So I learned from them also. This is so important that you can learn from other guys.
So
You know.
do you think now, because while you're talking, more questions come. Do you think this time with such a high technology, you know, internet, YouTube, mobile, smart, and so on, it's easier to try to study your opponents, let's say, because at that time I was there. I remember it was barely, you know, to find some videos, or the camera was a huge camera, you know, to go on the court. So it's easy for many players. Maybe they should get this opportunity to learn more from others. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is important also, and then you should sit with some guys together and discuss it. You know, then it's and listen to what the others are saying. You know, this we did in the Swedish team. We have video meetings sometimes in the camp, 1 hour to watch other players. You know, the top players in Europe, the Chinese. Also, with the Chinese, I know everything on the top Chinese how I should play when I met them the first time, because I've seen them so many times. Even when I was 13 years old, I studied, you know, Yang Liang, Teng Yi, Chen Long Kan. And when I played them the first time, everything was working with the tactic. It was exactly what I was thinking was going to happen. So it's very, especially against Chinese, it's very important to have a good tactic, because they are little bit more like robots, if you understand me. They can play good shot also, of course, but many from them are playing quite little bit robot game.
They play more mechanically. You mean that you can anticipate, you can predict their moves, let's say.
Yes, but okay, they are also good, you know, the coaches and everything. They can also change the game from the players, from the Chinese player now. So they know the whole game now, the top players in China, for sure. They're also very, very good players, but not unbeatable.
Not unbeatable, yes, correct. No. So, talking about the serve, okay, you said yourself you are a master in serve. Do you think having a good serve would represent half job done, or maybe you need to connect with something? What do you think?
Not the half. You have to work very, very hard. You know, I had my service and I lost also many matches, even if I won a lot with my service. So you need a whole package to be in the top, I think. But the game starts with serve and receive. So these two, I think, is the two most important thing. Receive is also nearly the same. It's also important, you know. This is the two first things that's happening in the game. The free first ball is very, very important. You can see it also now. Serve, receive, and the third ball. if you have good serve and third ball, then you're dangerous for all the players.
Correct.
But I think not the half. The half is not done. It's advantage to have a good serve, but it's much more in table tennis.
So then, from the skills, it's clear that you have to get ready for these 2-3 balls. Otherwise, the point is gone. It's already gone.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to be ready for a good serve return, good serve, third ball, and even the fourth ball block and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Then at this point, the mental aspect we have discussed many times on this aspect. You were also mentioning Kim Ki-taek from Korea. So, what do you think from this modern table tennis, the latest table tennis, is having more importance, or maybe it was the same for any era of the table tennis from 80s, 90s, and so on?
Yeah. I think it's so much to have to be mental strong. I think I always say it's one of the highest thing you need to have in table tennis and in all sports. I think otherwise it's difficult to win. You have so many good players in table tennis who never won the big titles, who was unbelievably good in practice, but had some problem in the matches, and so mental strength is unbelievably important, especially when you play in Olympic Games, because maybe the most of the guys get only 1 or 2 chances to play.
Correct.
Okay, Jürgen and Roscoff and Primorak, they play 7.
Little more.
And me 5. But normally you have, and it's tough, you know. You get only maybe two chances, maybe average in Olympic Games. So it's not so easy to come there, play relaxed, and you know. So this is sport is mental thing. I think in all sports you can take away 70% before the matches start.
Yeah. You started table tennis quite early. You know, we here in ITTF we try to teach our kids, coaches. When is the best moment in learning something, you know, in achieving that you feel inside, okay, I learn, I improved and so on. When if you recall some particular fact, I know that you've been many times in China, spent quite long time over there. I remember in the 80s. And what do you think was that moment that you felt, you know, was the highest moment to learn?
Highest, I think, the first time when I was there for practice in China for 4 weeks, 1980. I was 14 years old. Then I know after when I come home from China, I know how much I have to practice to have a chance to be in the top. But also when I was there, I saw that I'm beating most of the Chinese players even now who was older than me. Then also with the practice, I start to practice really hard after when I come back when I was 14. So this was the time when I learned the most, and for sure this trip also. But also already when I was 10, 11, I won my first medal, you know, in Sweden, Swedish Championship for cadets. You know, this was also important. But the thing when I know that I have a really, really good chance to be top in the world, I think it was 1980 already. Then I feel this is my sport.
Very, very good. We talk about skills, mental, and also now we come to the physical aspects. You know, you were saying before that power is there, so it requires quite, you know, a strong body and so on. If you have to name three best abilities that a player should have in different area, what would you pick?
Mental, like we spoke, is very important. This is for sure. This I take as number 1. And I don't know if you can say it, but to be a complete player, you need no weak points. If you have one weak point, bad against defense, bad against panholder, then it's tough. Then you always have to believe in your draw. And I think also tactic is it's very important that you can understand how to change a game also. Some players always play the same all the time. And if it was not working, it was not working. They was out. But I think from all the top players, from the Swedish player I played with, they was also very good. They have not so many weak points. So this is important. And also that you can defend yourself, with the blocking, and that you only not can attack. But now I maybe say 5-6 things.
Well, it's okay. We take it. We don't limit. Well, when you say about no weaknesses, let's say that also the time that you have to dedicate to the training, to learning, to study is also must be important, so because if you want to cover, you want to learn how to block, what kind of block, variation of block, and so on. So many things are there. It requires time to dedicate at the table. Do you think also this is another part that many they don't have? Many they think, okay, I do my couple of hours, I'm fine, not that much, or so this also can be a skill that can be applied for a good table tennis player.
I think, like you say, the top player could play all the way, defense, everything, but some player played only their own game, and then they have nothing. They have no second thing to do. Plan B or something. Plan C was not there. If A was not there, they was out. And in table tennis, you need maybe A, B, C to change in the matches. If I start to play with you, maybe we have tactic, play a lot of spin to your backhand, and then suddenly you know it, and you turn around with your forehand and kill me. I cannot go on to play that. Then maybe I have to change to play first ball to middle or out in forehand. So you always have one tactic, but sometimes the opponent know that they know your tactic, then you're out. So sometimes I play many times in the beginning of matches. I play out in forehand, from many players to take the first big attack, and then after a while they didn't want to turn around.
I see. So you
have to change to play in the it depends on how the match is working. And this
again, reading the match, yes, of course, preparing a plan B or even a plan C also can be helpful.
You have exactly the same thing, how they defend, you see Djokovic in tennis. He have everything, defend, attack, Federer, why he could play so long time. Nadal, they can play on all surfaces, and it's why they play so long time in the tennis if you compare.
But can I add one more question, because this is a very important point, because when we have our small kids, so it is that age, a young age, to learn many things, to explore many abilities, possibility, or many other, they narrow their skills in one or two, good speed, good footwork. So do you think at the very young age is good to open the scenarios, let's say, from learning point of view?
It's always like in all sports, when you're young, you learn more. When you're getting older, it's more difficult. You lose the most thing also in the head. So you learn a lot when you are very young. And then I think it's the time to, first you need the control, with good control. Then you can open up everything. And also when you're young, I think it's very, very, very important that you play a lot of tournaments against different styles. Then you will become a complete player. I played so many tournaments, especially also if you have a chance when they get a little bit older to play in different countries. You remember also when we had the camp, before Olympic Games in Italy, and you could play with all the top players in the camp. It's fantastic to see them play. Then you get a lot of high motivation to play, and see how hard they practice. For me, it was also very, very important to see, Samsonov and this guy, how hard they are practice. So, but I think also to play many games when you're young. Otherwise, if you only practice, it can be that you stop when you're 15 if you don't play so many matches.
Okay. So
But learn
planning,
a lot of
yeah,
different shots.
that's correct.
I was playing, in the beginning sometimes when I was young, I played a lot of high balls, too many high balls, But I learned, with the feeling with table tennis from that I tried different shots, with my stop lock and with my forehand style, So I think it's important when you're young to learn and watch the best players. Then you can see how they're playing. This is also good motivation.
One of the things that I played with you several times, of course, lost. I can tell you guys, I lost. One time only 3-2 I lost, but okay, fine. When I played with you, and also maybe other can also have the feeling with other opponents, you were not worried to win the point, and that was very frustrating from one side, because when you're there you want to win the point, you wanna just finish, but from your side you were not worried at all. I mean, losing a point was fine, winning a point was fine. Was it your feeling to face the matches like that?
I think overall, from Swedish style in all sports are a little bit like this. We have this Björn, Björn Borg was one of my legends, in tennis. He didn't say a word, when he was playing. We have Mats Wilander tennis. We have top players also in table tennis. Jürgen also was a little bit up, didn't say so much when he was, up again when he was concentrating, and I think it's the laid-back style in Sweden that we are not showing too much. We learn from the best sportsmen in Sweden, how to behave. Okay, sometimes I threw the racket and also was angry and behaved like shit, but that happens sometimes when you're mentally strong. Sometimes you have this problem. This is in all sports, but you learn from the best, and this was the style in Sweden, I think. In not only in table tennis, in other sports.
Correct. Thank you for this.
Relax, in Sweden. Even if we don't do good result in table tennis, we can go back to school, and we didn't have so much to lose. Okay, if you miss a sport, this time when I was young, you go back to the school and everything will be perfect. So we was lucky that in this year we have it really good in Sweden with these things,
I see. Couple of more questions, then we have so many questions from our audience.
Good.
Okay, just wear for just 1 minute the coach shoes, let's say like that. What would be the ideal skills for a coach to guide a player to perform well? What should be the
you mean in the matches or in the matches?
Well, the coach is everything, right? Is before the match, in preparation, during the match, after the match. So many things are involved. But what would be the 1 or 2 or 3 skills that the coach should have?
What I like when the coaches was coaching the matches, that they was very calm and very they have good concentration and not too loud. That sometimes if a coach is too loud, you can get nervous by yourself. You need some middle to find something in your game. Maybe when Eric Lind was playing, he need more push, or some other Peter Carlson maybe need this. So it's all. But for me, it was very important that you find a good balance with the coach, and also in the camp and like this before. I think they are there and help you all the time and push you when you are. Most important is that they push you if you are down. Then that helps a lot when you are tired in the camps. That they don't standing and speaking in the telephone. This is very irritating if you are practicing very hard and you get tired in the camps. So that they follow you and that they are very interesting in what you are doing. I think this is the most important. With some you have to put more and with some less. This is that. As a coach, you must read the player what they need. It's not the same for all.
So
This I think is important. The best coach for me is the one who can select these things, you know.
I see. So to customize basically with the players you have. So with some you can push more, with some relax, some asking more, some asking less to get ready to respond to different needs. Let's say like that.
Yeah. And then you think, then for me that I think is a good coach, and have good exercise for different players also. It's very important. I think I cannot always play the same like some other, you know. So maybe I should do more service exercise and like this, and but also, I think this is the most important.
But
then you're a good coach. What I think, but I don't know. I was never coached.
Have you ever coached?
Yeah. I'm coaching when I'm in the team, you know, many times when I play in Germany and in Sweden. After my matches, I was always sitting to coach the players. I like it very much. This is, I think, my best side in table tennis, that I could coach some other players. I like it very much. And it was working very, very good for me, you know, because I can read the tactics, so they trust me a lot. So I like it very much.
Well, having being coached by the top is always motivating. One more question.
Nice. I like it, you know. Then I can do a lot with my tactics. To watch the other players, you know.
One more questions, and then keep coming more. Golf. I know that you are you are crazy for golf. This morning or yesterday, every day you play golf, right? More or less.
No, not before. Some years ago we played a lot, but now we only play 2 times in a week. But it was exactly these days when we were speaking, you know. But we did this, you know, in the camp. All the Swedish players, you know, from the beginning was always playing golf. In the camp we have also the golf club to play 1 or 2 times, you know, always.
Okay.
And we went together to.
Do you think that table tennis and golf, as you said, many Swedish players are golfers. Do you think table tennis and golf having some sort of similarity in what, I don't know, in skill? You better than me can tell me, because I don't play golf. So
you don't play. You have to start.
No, I don't play. I tried once. I missed the ball. I took the grass, and then I said thank you.
I think it's both, you know, it's a white ball, so it's nearly the same size. But the thing is, when I play with table tennis player, the short game, you know, putting and from 100 meter and bunker shots and chipping, the table tennis are fantastic in this, because they have so good feeling manner. And also if you play some tournament with table tennis player, they're always mentally strong, because they're used to play by themselves, you know, a lot. If you compare with teams,
correct.
You know, short game, all the table tennis is really good in. But it's a nice thing. So, you know, when we are always inside in the hall 95%, and now sometimes you can go out and relax and compete a little bit in another way. We like it very much. But you can see all over now in the world, table tennis they play a lot of golf, the table tennis players now.
Very, very good. So, Dominic, I think we are ready for a lot of questions. we can keep Valdi for a few more minutes, and
no problem.
And then thank you very much, Valdi. So, Dominic, can you just start with some lot of good questions are there actually? So,
yes,
maybe
true.
We can start with the prior webinar questions, right?
Yes.
We do have
Thank
some.
you very much. And it was really great to listen to both of you. It was really a nice talk. And Jan-Ove, now you're already used to a lot of questions, and now we can continue. And we to start with the prior webinar questions, as Max said. But firstly, I would like to remember the guys out there, the attendees, that you can still leave your questions in the Q&A section. But now I will start with the first question for you from the prior webinar questions, Jan-Ove. It's from Ahmed Al-Darwish from Lebanon.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you won your first cadet medal with 11 years. But he would like to know, when did you win the first championship in your country? And then when did you become a national team player? With which age?
First question you say, when I won a title in Sweden.
Yes.
How old?
Yes.
For seniors, I think.
I think in general. He's talking about general.
Okay, I was 9 or 10, I think 10.
Okay.
Then I could compete in lower class, for young one. It was not junior cadets. We have even lower, you could be 8 or 9, and 9 to 10. I won when I was 9, so I won quite early because
Great.
I started so early to play.
Okay. And how was it in the senior?
Senior, I was think in Sweden 15, I think 14 or 15.
Okay.
14.
Also so early.
After China, when I come back, I think I won some tournaments in Sweden for the senior.
Great. And when did you become a national team player?
We have from the senior team. I was with in my first big tournament. It was 19. I will see. In Tokyo, I played first World Championship. 82, I played in European Championships. This was my first European Championships. Then I lost in the final.
Silver, yes.
Upper grade guy. My little friend,
I was there. I watched that match.
Yeah. It was so
okay,
good.
And then I would have one more. It's from Karima Tela from Algeria. And she would like to know if you still remember about your coming to the table tennis, because you mentioned that you all the time contact to the balls and so on. But how did you come to table tennis? Is it also a family story she is asking or not?
Yeah, exactly. We played. We started to play, me and my brother. He's 2 years older than me, and we played in the same club. I remember when we came first to Sportväg in Stockholm, my club. He came in directly, but I have to be a test first because I was only 6 years old. Mascot, we call it in Sweden, this.
Okay, yes.
So this was my name already. But after 3-4 times in the practice, they took me in the club. But the first time we start was with my grandfather's summer place. We played outside. He fixed a table for us. Then we could play table tennis outside. So this was the start from table tennis. And after that, we had always table tennis wherever we live, in our apartment, houses, everywhere.
Great. Okay, thank you. And I will pass now the word to Massimo for the next 2 questions.
Yes, we have from Singapore Table Tennis Association, Chen Jingyi. The name is Chen Jingyi or Jing He Chang, I don't know. Valdi, how do you cope when you suddenly start making continuous errors in the game? What do you mentally tell yourself to overcome this situation?
The classic one, next ball. Forget about this. I practice good. I know that I'm a good player. Never take you down you should never take you down, push down yourself. It's very important to look for the next ball. I'm in good shape, blah, 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 and push yourself all the time. If you start that you don't believe in your game, it's tough. So, and you have to go on to play, you don't have to be too passive after this also. Play your game and be positive, and also that is also a good thing what you said before. If you have a good coach, he push you very good in this situation, and your friends also, So very, very important to believe that you have a good game.
Always think positive, not to regret, not to look at the back, but look forward.
Yeah, because it's coming. Even if you lose this match, is coming new matches. So be positive because you get your chance later anyway. So you can relax, take the next one.
Thank you. one question from Lucian Philemon. We know him very well.
Yeah.
And how hard was for you to retire?
With the national team, I think it was quite clear. I stopped after 2004 Olympic Games. This was also, I had a good tournament, really good tournament, but I had the feeling every morning I wake up, I had so much problem with my back. And I took this Voltaren all the time. I have to go to swim before morning. I have to go up 4 or 5 hours before I play. And I also had won my all what I can win, in table tennis. So it was quite easy. But then after played good again, and then I come back 2006 to play again. I think with team and one tournament. So, and then I have something to do also after when I stop. I have some good friends who have some ideas what I could do, and it was not so tough for me.
Okay, Lucian, understand. So it was a good question. I remember that 2004.
Then it's easier.
I remember that 2004 for very nothing you missed the bronze medal in Athens, so it was memorable because the pathway you did to reach there was unbelievable good. So I remember, and then I can understand.
And this tournament was really a good end for me, it was big celebration. So many Swedish guys was there, and popularity in Sweden was very, very high for my name this time. And so it was a really good end. Even if it was no medal, I feel really good after the tournament.
But Valdi, so
practice. I had it again. We have good practice in Italy.
That you can say it loudly. Yes, that was unforgettable training camp. But I have one curiosity with the Swedish fan that they were there in Olympics. They used to come with the plastic banana. What was this huge plastic banana? What exactly means?
I think it's the only thing that it means that the Swedish are a little bit crazy. I think the fans, but they are loud and they have a lot of different drinks, before the matches, so you can hear them all the time. But
they are quite.
You're not watching the spectators too much what they are doing, but I think they always have a good support. I think the Swedish team.
True.
So I was really happy to play for them.
Okay, thank you, Dominic. I'll return the ball to you. We are playing now double and again single, Valdi. So to you.
Thank you very much. And there is the last prior webinar question. It's from Hashita Samaravira from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
And he would like to know, as you are also, let's say, called the Mozart of table tennis, and we know your block skills, very well. How important do you think is the block in the modern game?
How you mean, with the Mozart or with, what did you say? I cannot understand.
How important is the block game in the modern game?
You mean?
Yes, the blocking.
Yes. Yeah, blocking. How to?
Okay, now I understand. Yeah. I think still you have to be good to defend. It's still important, but I think it's not so much blocking because both players are playing a lot of top swing close to the table. The blocking are not there, but still you have to block also. Not only go over the ball, to play bomba all the time. You need a good block. It can also, you can see on the best play, they sometimes block. They make this stop block. Still, you can do this thing. So variation with these things is important because if you have a block, then the other don't have a block. So it can help a lot. So still very important, I think.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I would like to jump now to the in-webinar questions. And the first one is from Eddie Siley. And what is the most important thing you would teach to a player to improve the competitive side?
like we spoke before, I think the first 3 balls, serve, receive, and the third ball is very important because the rallies are not so long like before. So service and receives is more than 50% in the game, I think. Yeah, you can see in other sport, tennis and like this is also serve, receive more and more important. And so practice a lot of serve and receive and third ball. It's very important, I think, for the future.
And what kind of, let's say, advice would you have in regards to the mental part?
Yeah. It's difficult to say, but you have to, like I say, positive is always good, to push up yourself. And don't think too much about which matches you are playing. Try to play the best you can. If you do this in small tournaments, big tournaments, you will come to a good decision mentally also. And I think the most important is that you have same concentration in the practice small matches like in the big matches. When you do this, you're going to be a more complete player.
Thank you very much for your advices, and I pass back the ball to Massimo, to Italy.
Yeah, next is from Zain Farouk.
8 points. 8 points. Yes.
Zain Farouk, you just replied a little bit with this question. What should be a player's most focus should be while training? So it's focusing as in the competition. You were saying something just a few seconds ago. So what should be the focus while training?
Yeah, in training it's always to improve your game and also to be very good. And also, if you make a bad training, you are hurting some other. So this is also important to see the group. If the group are practice good, then you see that you should always look at the other players, how they practice, because then you help the group. And for me, it was also important, like I said to you before, to see how other guys are practice. Because maybe sometimes when I was younger and sometimes before I was more lazy in the practice. I didn't want to do the last job, but then I understand this is very, very important, even if you have good talent. I don't know if it was the answer from the question, but that's how I feel.
Well, that's clear.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. I think Zain Valdi replied. Then we have from Christian Matteu. If you didn't play table tennis, what sport did you think are good to play?
I played some matches in soccer and tennis was quite good also for me. So for sure these 2 sports. All sport is with the ball. You can see it again.
With the ball.
I was not so good in winter. I'm not so good in the winter sport. I like the summer Olympics more.
No cars, no motorcycle, no winter sport, balls.
No,
Where the balls are there.
I'm not so good. I need a ball, then it's working for me.
Thank you. Back to you.
But you have to be quite strong. Maybe tennis, you have to be tall. Maybe I choose the right sport.
Back to you, Dominique, for next 2. We have so many, but somehow we have to finish in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to ask a combined question, Jan-Ove. It's from Edward Liu, and I will give you first the, let's say, easier question. How can you describe table tennis in a sentence?
Like to play chess.
Okay, this was very cool.
Because it's a chess game, table tennis, I think.
Yeah. And if you have to describe it in one word, what would you use? Which word?
Wonderful game.
Wonderful, okay.
Because it's so many things in the game, Best sport to play.
Good, thank you. And the next question is from Michael Oebode. And he would like to know, Jan-Ove, what do you think about who should be the coach? Do you think a former top player can be more useful as a coach than somebody who hasn't played at top level?
I think so. I think it's easier for the players if you like Jürgen now is a coach for the Swedish team. I think they feel very safe with him as a coach because they know if he says something because he played 7 Olympic Games, then they know that this is the right thing to do. You know, this you should practice because he know the way. But you can be other coach also if you have some good things there also. So you don't have to be top. But in big tournaments, I think it's really important that you have someone who played before. When I won 21-0 in the World Championships, I have Tikan Karlsson, who was coach and top player before also. So then you feel quite strong.
Yeah, so it's very much about the experience which you can then pass on to the players, right? Yeah.
I think if you come to a big tournament, I think it's more used for a top who was top player. But small tournaments, I don't know, necessarily not. It can be both.
Okay, thank you very much. And I pass now the word to Massimo for the next 2, and then we have one more 2, so 4 questions, Massimo.
Yeah, let's go fast because we are really
Too long. We have some problem to come in first.
Yeah, exactly. So one question from Raymond Pius. Mr. Waldner, can you share with us what is your best motivational words that keep you going focused when you are struggling, either in a match or during the years you practice this sport? What do you used to tell yourself about this?
Little bit like I told before, be positive and still, even if I will lose in World Champion, I get a new chance. I will prepare better for the next one. So this I learned from because I have also tough defeats sometimes that I was coming home, shit, I don't want to play anymore. And then 2 days later, I love the sport again. Because you get so many chances. And it's not only European World Champions, Olympic game is the important tournament. If you can win in other, it's also fantastic, I think, or win matches. So it's coming always new tournaments. And positive is always good because then you help yourself.
Great. Thank you. Oh, we have one more question from Christian Mateu that he doubled down his questions. So happy to reply. Given your experience, Mr. Waldner, why did you choose a coaching career? You said that you coached a little bit and it was fun, right? But why didn't you choose it?
To now, after I stopped, I have a lot of other things I did. I work a lot with like a door open for big companies in China. So I travel a lot to China. So I had no time to be with like for national team and like this. But I'm open now to coach some young players, not too many, but some, maybe 1, 2, to help them from the younger generation in Sweden.
So I'm excluded. Initially I'm out of this range of players can be coached by you. I'm out.
I like the coach. I don't like everything to be a trainer, I like to coach and like to help them to how to practice for big tournaments, what they should practice. This exercise and things I like very much. But I'm not a national coach, I think. I like more details.
That would be a great asset for a player having you beside and get advice by you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I still see one question from Shimon Rabinovich. Hi, Shimon. Craig Meyer. Then Dominic, you can take over and then let's finish.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the last 2, Waldi, they are really, let's say, short.
Yeah.
The first one is from Shimon Rabinovich, and he says, you said that the table tennis today is more powerful and everyone plays nearly the same. Do you think that today it is a less tactical game than before?
Yeah. I think with the smaller ball, you could do so much more with the tactic. Now if you make a lot of downspins, my service is not working at all, with the bigger ball. They kill it direct with a backhand receive or something. So you have more possibility with the smaller ball, I think. And if you look the matches, I think everyone is backhand, forehand finish. It's a lot of the same thing now. But I also like when the defender are in still now. It's very, very good for the sport.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And now the very last question. It's from Craig Mayer. Jan-Ove, what's your view on pimple rubbers, short and long?
What I think about it, pimple rubber.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it's still working. We have Matthias Falk, who was second in the World Cups. So he was there, and then it's still working, and defenders are still working also. So, but it's less and less. I think, like I said before, it's more and more the same style: tough in, big legs, power table tennis. You don't see so many different styles now.
Thank you very much. And with this, we would like to, send you the thank you words, For dear Mozart of table tennis, dear Jan-Ove, you were an amazing, great and talkative guest. And we, the entire ITTF HPD team, we thank you a lot for taking the time to be here today and sharing your knowledge, expertise, and giving all of us so many interesting insights regarding your person. And if we play a little bit with the words, it was wonderful.
Yeah, okay. This is good. It was nice to be with and see my old friends here. So we have some matches together. So it's nice to see you, and nice to see you also, Dominic.
Thank you very much, Jan-Ove. And also thanks a lot to our audience out there for attending. And we hope our 50 ITTF HPD Table Tennis at Your Fingertips webinar was very interesting for you. And I'm looking forward to our future webinars, for which further information will follow soon in due time. So stay tuned. And that's all from my side for today. Stay safe and healthy. And I pass the word to Italy, to my dear colleague Massimo. And I kindly ask you for your closing words, Max.
Thank you.
Yes, well, closing words is just an infinite thank you, Valdi, for being with us. It was such a great pleasure. And firstly, an honor to have you here for the joy of all the attendees with your valuable speech and so on. So thank you very much. I try to learn some golf, and I invite you again in Senegal.
To play some golf.
Yes. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and hope we have a good Olympic Games.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the best to all of you. Enjoy the Olympic Games starting on Saturday. And from my side is all. Thank you again. Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, Dora. All behind the scenes. And Valdi, again, thank you very much. And take care of yourself. Ciao. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.